That's frustrating. I've literally filmed for 12 minutes monologuing to you guys and I didn't turn the microphone on. So big lesson there. On a positive note, it was a bit of a kind of rehearsal, I guess, to what I was talking about, and maybe I can make it a bit smoother and won't need to edit so much. So I'm going to jump straight into comments. YouTube comments, I'm getting so many. I try to answer, I try to sort of dedicate an hour a day to answering as many of you as I can. But I wanted to talk about this comment because it's really funny. George, we are here for the aquascapes, not for your stupid English accent and irrelevant rambling. Please keep on topic. Well, I'm sorry, Mr. Random or Mrs. Random YouTube consumer, but many of you really enjoy this rambling, so I'm not going to stop. I really like doing it. Let's get on with the rambling, shall we? So I do have a little short list of stuff I want to cover because my memory is pretty bad. Exciting news, I'm going to be aquascaping with Dennerle, a 25,000 litre aquascape in Hamburg, Germany. This is about 6,000 US gallons, so it's a beast. I think it gets about 10 meters long, 30 feet long. I can't remember the dimensions. I'll put a little text tab at the bottom for you. It's huge. It's in a zoo at Hamburg. I'll leave all the details in the description. It's going to be covered in terms of social media. I'm going to do a lot of the social media content for YouTube, this channel, also for Dennerle. I'm really excited about it. I'm hugely privileged to be invited onto the team to aquascape it. You know, 6,000 gallons, 25,000 litres is a huge aquarium. My kind of role is not only social media, YouTube, etc., and filming, but also to come up with a hardscape. So no pressure, hardscaping a 6,000 gallon aquarium. Should be good fun. We've got some huge pieces of driftwood from Malaysia, so really excited to get my hands on that, get in the tank and give it a good old play around and make it look really special. Asian style biotope, so all of the plants will be coming from the Asian continents in terms of their origin, and obviously be stocking Asian fish as well. More of an Asian style biotope, not a strict habitat biotope. So that's really exciting, and potentially more exciting. Some of you may already know I'm writing a book. I'm going to probably talk about this book quite a lot because it's a big deal. 9 inches square. It's going to be very much a practical guide into aquascaping, step-by-step tutorials, how to set up tanks, how to maintain them, troubleshooting, algae guides, species guides, you know, how to choose the fish, how to choose your tank, you know, a real kind of, hopefully appealing to the very much beginner who's never even seen an aquascape, and hopefully there'll be something there for more advanced, experienced aquascapers as well. So hopefully covering a broad spectrum. It's going to be about 30 or 40,000 words and about 200 images, the vast majority of images from myself. And I've actually kind of blanked out my diary next week. I'm filming this on a Saturday. Most of the family are away on holiday to leave me pretty much on my own to write this book in peace. I've got Tommy with me. He's going to be my kind of companion and take him for walks, look after him obviously. Very exciting, and it's just another privilege, another honour, and I'm very grateful to have the opportunity to write a book. So next I wanted to talk about the Aquascaper 1200. Thanks to all of you for commenting. I think there's about 300 comments on the previous video about the Aquascaper 1200. What should we do with it? Completely take it away, put a brand new tank there, rescape it, or leave it as it is and just let it mature. So a real mixed bag. I have made a decision. Number one, I am going to keep the tank. I'm not going to replace the tank. Now, a lot of you will be, it's going to leak. It might leak. I'm willing to take the risk. That micro bubbling hasn't changed in 3 years, so I'm fairly confident it's not going to leak anytime soon. If it did leak, my understanding is it will leak slowly, so we'll be able to catch it. I am at home a lot at the moment. I'm not traveling so much. There's always someone in the house that can keep an eye on it. So if it does start leaking, we can address the problem. I might switch the tank around, rotate it 180 degrees. I think there's less scratching on the rear glass, and the micro bubbling might even be smaller on the rear. So it makes sense to switch it around while it's empty. and I'm going to do a complete rescape. I'm going to reuse the hardscape and many of the plants, more than likely. I might even bleach the rocks and give them a good old rinse, obviously, in dechlorinator to absolutely get rid of any BBA and give the, I mean, there's actually no BBA on the wood, which is really good to see. And yeah, new substrate, new soil substrate, new gravel if I go open substrate. And I've got two choices, island composition or triangular, but a reverse triangle to what it is at the moment. So as you know, if you've watched my previous video, as I look at the tank right now, I'll get some footage of me as I see it. In fact, I'm gonna do that right now. Watch this, get my phone, make a little video, and I'm gonna overlay this exact video. So this is exactly what I see right now from this seat. And you can see, apart from that dewar tank that's in the way, you'll know what I mean in a minute, you'll see, in fact, let me move this, because this is kind of blocking it. So you'll see now, it's just a wall of plants, which doesn't look attractive. So if we switched it 180 in terms of the triangular composition, this is going to look much more attractive, or we can go island. So, and I've not absolutely 100% decided we're going to keep the Aquascape 1200 there. So regardless, going to do a new scape, grow it in, share that journey with you guys, share the whole step-by-step of stripping it down, setting it back up again, and obviously the evolution of everything growing and maintaining. And then once I'm happy with that, I'm switching up the equipment as well, new lighting, dosing pump, added filter. Shout out to all the guys that have supplied that, so Kessel, D&D and Oase. Once that's grown in and looking good, I'm probably going to get rid of the Aquascape 1200 and either have more space in the gallery or replace it with another aquarium, another brand. So lots to think about, exciting times. What else was I going to... Let me refer to my notes. Leak and tank, we've covered that. Some of you are interested in photography. I just bought myself a new lens and I really wanted something ultra wide angle. So I've got 14mm Samyang. For those that aren't into photography, ultra wide basically means you see loads more in the shot. So I deliberately got this for the gallery so we can get some really nice kind of fitting the whole gallery in one frame, do some nice panning shots, and it just gives you a real kind of sense of the size of the place. And you can also get some really funky like close-up stuff, so really kind of distorts a sense of depth. You can get really close to the foreground and the background will look really, really far away just because of the optics and this focal length 14mm. I do have a full frame sensor camera for the geeks out there that you know what I mean. For those that don't, it just makes it look awesome. I'll do some footage with it and then I'll put a little thing at the bottom so you know I'm filming with this one. So that's the rambling kind of section of the video over and done with. Thanks for sticking with me so far if you have managed not to skip forward to the actual aquarium stuff. So I want to give an update on the Malawi Cichlid tank. It's looking really good right now. Been a couple of equipment changes which we'll talk about in more detail, and I'll get some cinematic stuff of the fish and the rocks because they look beautiful. So let's jump over to the cichlid tank. So this is my Oase Highline 175. There is a playlist dedicated to this tank, including the whole process of how I set it up, how I chose the fish, etc. So check that out if you've not seen it yet. And I wanted to give you guys an update. It's looking really good. It's 3-4 months ago now, at least, since I set it up. The fish have grown on massively. The males have got this really distinct blue and black stripe, absolutely stunning. And then the females are bright yellow. Yeah, just really happy with the scape. I've taken out a few rocks to give a bit more open space and to actually get a better circulation pattern around the aquarium. The filter inlet is built into the base and it's actually behind on the left, and some of the rocks were kind of covering it, so it was kind of limiting that flow, that circulation pattern from reaching the inlet of the filter. And maintenance is really simple. I try to do at least a 75% water change once a week. If I can do it, I do it twice a week. I just gently kind of wave my hand around the gravel to lift up any excess fish waste, etc., and siphon that out as part of the water change. Clean the glass, and any excess algae build up, just rub off with a toothbrush. It's not too bad. The fish actually like to graze the algae as part of their diet as well. I have changed the lighting. Some of you may remember I did originally have the Kessel A160 WE Tuna Sun on there, which was on a gooseneck, and it looked great. The actual glitter lines look great, really natural, but I didn't like the profile of the tank. I didn't like seeing this gooseneck. I didn't like the glare that we now get from the LED when we're sitting in the gallery area or the dining room table. So I've fitted the Oase LED strips, and they fit inside the hood. I'll get some close-ups of that for you now. And it just makes the whole system look really neat and tidy. The lighting's very flat, which actually I don't mind. It looks much more peaceful. I think those glitter lines can be very intense and a bit too high impact maybe for some tastes. So I'm just running one tube of LED. It's only 12 watts of light. We obviously don't need high lighting because we're not growing plants or anything like that. So I think it's really great. The fish colours look great in this light. It's very natural, and it's just a beautiful scape to live with. Low maintenance, easy fish to look after. Well, I have hard tap water anyway, so the water chemistry is perfect. And yeah, the Highline series of tanks, really nice. Really nicely finished, German quality engineering, beautiful cabinet. The filter's plumbed into the bottom, the Oase Biomaster with the quick release pre-filter, so maintenance is super simple. Built-in heater as well, so no ugly heaters in the tank. And then it's got this dry weir system, so there's actually no cables in the tank, you can't see any of the equipment basically, which is really great. So a really nice product. Oase, full disclosure, do support my channel, but I only choose companies that I absolutely believe in to support my channel. So the reason I can talk about this tank and promote it and recommend it to you guys is because I love it myself and I'm happy to have it in my own home. One of the great things about the Oase Highline series is the hood. Push to release, and then that can go all the way up and rest there. Here you can see the feeding hole, made from aluminium and a composite border, so super high quality German engineering. And then the light unit itself, I'm only running one LED strip here, just 12 watts, fully waterproof, so if it does happen to get dropped in the tank, it's going to be fine. And then this, what I've done is actually have the light quite far forward, which front lights the fish, which makes them look more colourful. And because we've got a black background, it absolutely blacks out the back. So you can't see any of the equipment, which you can't see anyway because of the dry weir. There is a box on the left, which can be visible if it's lit. But with the lighting far forward, you get this really nice effect. Now, if we had plants in here, plants in the background, etc., you probably wouldn't want to do this front lighting effect. But it's something I really like. As you can see, the colours of the fish are popping really nicely, and you get this super black background, which is to me the next best thing after having no background and a backlit aquarium. So, big fan of the Highline series of aquariums, actually considering swapping out the 1200 in the long term for a Highline 300 or maybe even a 400. Just depends on how much space, and I've got some other projects in the pipeline, so lots of decisions to make further down the line. I think another consideration worth mentioning, there are advantages to having hoods. As an aquascaper, I do prefer rimless aquariums, braceless, open top, so you can have hardscape and plants potentially growing out of the surface. But the next best thing is having a really tidy hood. You're not going to get any jumping fish, and evaporation is limited, and also it's not going to consume as much energy in terms of heating the aquarium. Definite advantages to having a hood. And as someone that's doing more traveling and having to rely on other people to potentially maintain my aquariums, you know, having a hood does give me a bit more peace of mind, less need to top up, etc. And like I said, one of the big factors is jumping fish. For a lot of people, this is an issue. So there we have it, guys. Exciting updates here at the GFS Gallery, including the 25,000 litre or 6,000 US gallon planted tank aquascape in Hamburg at the zoo with Dennerle. So excited about that. We've got the book, we've got the 1200 rescape, we've got the Dual Aqua 30, we've got the Terra 36. We've given you a big update on the cichlid tank. We've still got the Flex to rescape. We've got the 600 to potentially rescape. And I've got the Biorb to give you an update on. So, not short of content. Let me know which bit is most exciting for you and I'll consider it for the next upload. You take care, keep on scaping. Cheerio.